Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Mochamad Rivan Fauzan dengan NIM 11992300098. Understanding cells. Open our practice workbook. Step 2, select cell D6 and type HLEE. And then step 3, clear the contents in row 14. And then step 4, delete column G. And then step 5, using either cut and paste or drag and drop, move the content of row 18 to row 14. And then step 6, use the fill handle to put an X in cells F9, F11. When you finish, your workbook should look like this. And then next slide, modifying columns, row, and cells. Step 1, open our practice workbook. Step 2, autofit column with for entire workbook. Step 3, modify the row height for row 3 to 14 to 22.5 or 30 pixel. Step 5, step 4, delete row 10. And then step 5, insert a column to left of column C, type secondary contact in cell C2. And then step 6, make sure cell C2 is still selected and choose wrap text. And then step 7, merge and center cells A1 to F1. And then step 5, hide the billing address and phone column. When you finish, your workbook should look something like this. And then next slide. Next slide is formatting cells. Step 1, open our practice workbook. Step 2, click the challenge worksheet tab in the bottom left of the workbook. Number three, change the cell style in cells H2 to H2 to accent 3. Step 4, change the font size of row 1 to 36 and the font size for the rest of the row to 18 to 80. Step 5, bold and underline the text in row 2. And then step 6, change the font of row 1 to a font of your choice. And then step 7, change the font of the rest of the row to a different font of your choice. And then step 8, change the font color of row 1 to a color of your choice. And then step 9, select all of the text in the worksheet and change the horizontal alignment to center align and the vertical alignment to middle align. When you finish, your worksheet should look something like this. Next slide. Uh, Next slide is understanding number format. Step 1, open our practice workbook. Step 2, in cell D2, tap today's date and press enter. Step 3, click cell D2 and verify that is using a right number format. Try changing it to a different date format, for example, long date. And then next, step 7, in cell D8, use the increase decimal or decrease decimal command to change the number of decimal place to 1. It should now display 7.5%. When you finish, use your spreadsheet should look like this. Then next slide is working with multiple worksheet. Step 1, open our practice workbook. Step 2, insert a new worksheet and rename it Q1 summary. Uh, I'm sorry, using find and replace. Step 1, open our practice workbook. Step 2, click the challenge tab in the bottom left of the workbook. And then step 3, Krista Lewis was married and changed her last name to Taylor. Use find and replace to change Krista's last name from Lewis to Taylor. Be careful to only change Krista's last name. And then next step, step 4, find and replace bio with biology. Be careful not to change the major biomedical engineering. And then step 5, use find and replace all to replace the physics major to physical science. When you finish, your worksheet should look like this.